How are you all tonight? Happy hump day. Just kind of waiting for everything to catch up here. The delay. Here goes my tablet. There we go. Got my phone down. Okay. All right. Tonight I thought we'd do some coloring with some gnomes, the Tea Party and my Gnome stamp set. Don't have a plan necessarily other than to color. Thought I'd start off while we were waiting. This is the Inspiration Box stamp set. Oops. Hi Donna, how are you? I'm just getting started. Here's the stamp set, and I have a bunch of the stamps in my MISTI right now, so that's why they're not here. I just got the matching dies yesterday, so perfect timing, so we can cut them out. I did not cut them out ahead of time tonight. And then I'm gonna put those behind me so they're out of the way. Here is the add-on set, the My Gnomies. Once again, I have some of these already stamped out and have them in my MISTI waiting. Hi Sarita. I wanted to show this is how I have my masks when I make masks. So obviously I have a card coming up, you can see, and I store them on the back. And this is the Brutus Monroe masking paper. Here is the dies for that. So we're gonna use those tonight. And I just went ahead of time and stamped out a bunch of them. Oh, it's okay, Donna. I actually have an aunt named Cindy, and I've been called Cindy all my life, so it's okay. I stamped out these with the Raven Detail ink on some of the Perfect Blend alcohol paper. It's my favorite paper to color on. And tonight I'm going to use the Olo markers. I've used them a few times, but I thought that would be fun to color with live so people can see live how they work. Obviously when I was stamping out, I was hurrying this morning. I made a mistake, so I just flipped them over and stamped. But because I really didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do yet, I thought first thing I would do is make a few backgrounds so they could dry. So I just grabbed, this is just scrap 100-pound cardstock from when I'm making like mini slim cards. I just saved the extras for panels. And I have pulled all my older Chroma Mists, Chroma Glazes. They all have the silver lid, and they now kind of have the plastic lid. And I think that's the way they've been coming. And so I put these all in a bin so that I make sure I use these up. I want to use them up first. They last a long time, but I'm just trying to get better about using my supplies. So I thought maybe I'd just grab a stencil or two and quick put them together. So this is the mixed media stencil circles. It's going to be too big for my background, or my paper's going to be too big, and that's okay because we're going to cut it down anyway. So I thought I'd just grab a couple and we'll make a couple quick backgrounds and let them dry while we color. I try to do very light when I do them, and I'm not going to make them perfect. I just want to spread a little bit on, and I don't want it to be super thick. If I don't get them perfect, it's fine. It doesn't have to be. So I hope everyone's had a good week so far. It's Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Shalana, is that how I say your name? Hello, welcome. I'm just making up some quick backgrounds maybe to dry, hopefully while we're coloring tonight. So I hope you guys don't mind if I do a little coloring live, but I thought it might be fun to, I'm going to use the Olo markers that I just got in. So normally I have a bucket of water, and I forgot my bucket of water. So if you give me just a second. Honey, would you do me a favor? Would you do me a favor? Come to the other side here. Would you put a little warm water and just a tiny bit of Dawn soap in that? You know, about halfway up or a third of the way up. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get some water quick for my stencils so I don't have them go quick, peel them off. I love this one. I love how this happens. It's just perfect. So I'm going to put this over to the side. We'll make one more. So we got one with glitter. And I am going to actually try to take a little bit of this off. just to save it. And try to see what I can scrape up off my mat. That's one reason I like glass mat, is because you can scrape it up and put it back in your bin. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I just have a bucket of just a little bit of dish soap and some warm water, and I just stick them in there and let them soak until I'm done. Especially if I'm making multiple cards with different stencils. And I just use an ice cream bucket. So, well, here I live in Iowa. For those of you who don't know, we are expecting a winter storm, and of course, it's anywhere from 2 to 6 inches, 2 to 7 inches, starting tonight through tomorrow night. So, fortunately, I don't work very far from my home, so I can drive to work tomorrow and get in. But it's gonna be kind of a crazy day tomorrow with the weather. All right, so I need another stencil. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. This one's a cable heart. I believe I saw this one online not too long ago, but if I didn't, I apologize. I have a bunch of stencils and I just wanted to grab a couple. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do half of a heart, and we'll grab, just grabbing, let's do the silver, and then we'll start coloring. So it's been kind of a crazy week or so around here and in my house, and I'm glad it's Wednesday. Hope everybody else is having, like I said, a good week. It's February, so that's nice. Today is my dad's birthday, so Mom and Dad, if you're watching, happy birthday again, Dad, and my Uncle Dean. My dad is 79 today. So they sometimes watch my lives, but don't necessarily are able to comment. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. This one's going to be very subtle. Hi, Tara. How are you, my friend? I miss you. I hope you've been feeling good. I'm just making up some backgrounds. Thank you. Yeah, my dad lives about, he used to live about 6 hours away from me. Now he lives 4 hours away from me. And I did call him this morning. I know, Tara, I can't wait. Are you counting the days? Tara and I get together with a couple other girlfriends to craft, and we have a crafty weekend coming up soon. And I'm super excited. We stay up too late. We laugh a lot. Sometimes we don't get anything done. We enable each other to buy a bunch of stuff, right? But we have a lot of fun. All right, so I've got those couple of backgrounds drying over on the side, and now we're going to do some coloring. Oh, that'll be fun. Is it close to your house, Shalana? I don't know. Well, I think it's the last, Tara, I think it's the last weekend in March, but I don't know if we settled on a place for sure yet. I don't know. I need to know too, because I got to put in vacation days. 50 minutes, that's not too far. For Tara and I, we've got to go a little farther away. For us, we're going closer to some other friends, but it's not horribly bad, and it's worth it, right? So I stamped out a bunch of the images, like I said. I'm just using some copy paper underneath. Somebody suggested that when you color with alcohol markers a couple weeks ago during a live, and they said it helps with the bleeding. Not that it bleeds a lot, but sometimes I'm heavy-handed. So so worth it, yes. I have my Olo markers. I don't have a holder format yet, and I did not take the time. I bought them in some sets. So some of them didn't come, like a green came on one end with it. So tonight, I'm still not sure where all the numbers are, so we might just do some plucking. But the Olo markers come, there's two this is the way I ordered them in the sets. These are in the store. I do not have the box handy. I think I put the boxes in the other room. And these came in, you have boxes of 8 and 16 that were in the store. So there was 2 markers, and they have this little clip on the middle. So you can, so I just took some of them apart so that I could have like, 1.3 and 1.1 together. These are alcohol markers. They're continuous flow, from my understanding, and then they have the brush tip on them. And I did take the time and I swatched them all out, so I do have them. I don't know if I'm too close. I have them all swatched out just so I have them colors. And I, so far, am really, really happy with them. So we're just going to color with some of them tonight. And no rhyme or reason, just going to color and start. I usually color darkest to lightest when I color with markers. So I'm sorry, I'm just... Hold on a second. 1 second, I have an important text message that just came. Okay, my boss is out of town and he just texted me, so I just wanted him to know I need to get back to him in a little bit. Okay, so these are the OR, and I'm using OR 2.5 and 2.3. I have no rhyme or reason to my coloring. I don't do light sources. I just color how I want. I learned to color with alcohol markers with a fabulous lady named Nancy, and she works at my local scrapbook store, which is in Cedar Rapids. And sorry, I'm going to pull my chat back up here. She taught me how. I took a class with her, and I don't know if I color the way she taught me, but I just colored in class with her once a month for I don't know how many months. And that was the best thing for me if you're not a Copic colorer or an alcohol marker colorer. Just practice. That is the best thing. Stamp out your images. Use a good Copic friendly ink. I like the Brutus Monroe Ribbon Detail ink. And then a good paper is really, really well. If you find you're having issues with bleeding or not blending, it might be your paper. So just try something. I mean, don't necessarily go buy something special to start. If you want, try what you have. Like I said, for me, I love the Perfect Blend. I started buying the Perfect Blend alcohol markers in the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panels. It's great for blending too, but I like it mostly for alcohol marker coloring. But now I buy it in the 8 1/2 by 11, so I can cut them down to the size I want, and mostly so that I can do a half sheet and stamp more images. It is very relaxing. Another thing that I used to color when I worked as a telephone operator in college, and we used to color while we were on the job because that's something you could do and still take the phone calls. Like we did like a credit or calling cards. So people would call in and they would need to give us their calling card number or the number they wanted to call, and we'd connect their call. Sometimes because they would just dial wrong. Well, I started coloring, like I said, with class, and then there are, on Instagram, there is a 30-day marker challenge that happens every once in a while, or coloring channels, I should say, with my friend Kathy Rakusin, and I just did that, and I think sometimes if you just color a little bit, if you're, 5 minutes, even 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, just color one image, or stamp out just a couple of images, and you just get more comfortable with it. So all right, so here, and I'm just choosing random colors, BG 2.1 and BG 2.3. So I don't normally do all my coloring on screen, but I thought tonight, because I'm coloring with the Olo markers, I would just kind of demonstrate those along with these. And then we'll just throw our card together. Um, I can die cut them all out at once. And then one other thing I've been doing, I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight, is that sometimes I will stamp out my image and then I will stamp it out with a pigment ink over the top. I leave everything in my MISTI. Before I die cut it out, I stamp it over it, and it just gives this extra crisp line. Or just a black ink. I've done it with the Raven Detail ink, but I just re-inked my ink pad today, preparation for tonight, so that should work. But if my ink pad's a little dry and I don't feel like getting up to get my re-inker, I just grab my pigment ink and stamp it over the top and just let it sit. You can't use a pigment ink with markers so much, alcohol markers so much, because they will bleed or the black lines will run. So I find when you color, if you want your object to look a little bit more roundish, that you color on both sides and then blend out towards the middle with the light color, the lightest color. Like I said, you just play when you color. It's you know, it's just paper. All right, so that was the BG 2.3 and 2.1. I don't right now have the grays and things, so actually when I went through my list, one of the things I found that I decided I liked this 7.0. It's called Forest Mist. It's actually a green, but I thought it was kind of perfect for the beards. So I'm just gonna, and I'm not gonna do all the beards the same way. I'm gonna turn this a little bit because I don't like to put my hand directly on where I've colored. This one, I think I'm gonna color in the whole thing and make it full-on gray green. Thanks, Tara, for getting on that and finding out if we've got a place here. All right, so we've got that one, and I just did that, and then I think I'm going to do one of these beards. We're gonna make this one kind of a gray one, and this one I'm just gonna do a little bit under his mustache, a little bit out, just to give it a little color, a little down, a little up. I do not have the blender for this, for the Olos yet. I forgot to order that when I ordered my markers, and I haven't placed another order yet where to put that in, so. Leave some white space here, just flicking a little bit. And then for the other beard, I'm gonna go ahead and do a brown, and we'll just color him in. So I don't know if any of you guys have been on the website right now, but I think is today the last day for the Chroma Mist sale. So if you haven't gotten your Chroma Mists, they're on sale right now. The Stick and Stamp mat is 1 year old this week, or this past week. So Christopher was putting a little sale on. And I know that there's only a few spots left for the virtual event that's coming up at March 11th with Christopher. It's a floral, and that should be under classes, I believe, on the website. So check that all out. And you're gonna, that comes with 2 events, the 2 classes, and then products. So so if you're interested in that, that way you'll get to take a class and do some coloring with Christopher. And just kind of doing a little fast coloring. I don't necessarily, I can do a 3 color blend, but I'm not going to tonight. I usually do a 3 color blend unless it's a super small, but tonight I'm just going to do 2 colors. Hi, Shannon, how are you? I'm doing a little bit of coloring online tonight. These are the Olo markers. And I got some backgrounds drying over on the side. Now I have an image, if you noticed here, I did a little bit of, I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a little bit where I overcolored. What I do, and usually I do this at the end, but because we're going to die cut, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dab my white gel pen on the side. That way I cover that up. All right, so we got our beards done. I'm not, like I said, I don't have any colors chosen necessarily. I'm just choosing some fun colors just to, you know, rainbow of colors, and then we'll put them together. So I don't know if this is how this marker came, but I wanted to so if you buy some of these sets, if you follow the package instructions and you look at them, it'll tell you which the two markers that are next to each other are on them. So here's an example, like Y22, Y2.2 and 07.7. So I am going to take my time later after live tonight and take them apart and find them to be closer to something else. Because I bought like the floral set and I think the spring set, a couple of them came with a bunch of colors, where if I buy the blue set, they were all blues, and the brown set, they were all browns. So that way you had a couple of different colors. So I have Y22, and then I have Y20 right there, and we'll use that for our other hat here. So like I said, I've really been enjoying them so far. I have only colored up about 3 projects so far with the markers. 3, maybe 4 projects, but I've enjoyed them a lot. I noticed the only thing that I have done that it's my fault is that sometimes when I pull it off, if you notice there's a little dot right here, I have splattered because of my force. Glitter glaze, the top 2 colors. You know what? I'll pull out my thing. If I'm going to get 2 colors, let me pull out all of them. One has to either be, for me, has to be unicorn horn or alabaster, because unicorn horn is kind of a glittery one, but I have a jar and it's empty on my desk. It can be over things. So here's my consumable jar. I have a lot of them because I've been buying them for many years. I have old ones. I would say either Fallen Soul or Unicorn Horn would be one that I would definitely have, because it can go over. Fallen Snow too, yes. This one, the Unicorn Horn, has a little bit of rainbow color to it. The only card I have that has this in handy right now is one for the spring release, so I can't show you the glitter part of it, but I can, and there's not much left in here because I used it up. But Fallen Snow would be one. I agree with Shannon on that one, because like I said, you can go over items with it and it will give you that shimmer but should still show the color underneath. And then it's kind of hit or miss with your favorite colors. I try to slowly pick up some of each so that I can have them. Like I said, I have 2 brand new Fallen Snows because I love that one. And then Alabaster is always really good, or I would say Raven, because the Raven's the black, because you can add that sparkle to, black sparkles, kind of fun. And not everyone likes black embossing powder. If you're really interested in getting some glitter glazes, and you can, one thing I can maybe recommend, Shalana, sorry, I can't say your name properly today, is maybe, there's a glitter glaze of the month club, and you can sign up for it and do it each month, and you just get a glitter glaze each month. They're not always sold in the store, but you can, unless there's some extras, but you can get those and slowly build up a collection, and they usually match somewhere with whatever the inspiration box is, but it's fun to get some of those. We had one once, a couple years ago, there was a flower. Every month there were different flower color, and there was like a poppy one, and it was white with just a little bit of a hint of red, and it dried and it was really pretty. I've done some, I actually need to sign back up for the glitter glaze of the month, because that's one of my favorite things that I used to get those all the time, and I just stopped because I have so many. But I would just recommend trying one or two, seeing what you like. If you need to add one to an order, if you're, you know, trying to get to shipping or something, if you want, and you know, or basic colors. I would say if you get the fallen snow, the one thing that's nice about that is you could add some ray ink, put it on your mat, add some ray inker to it, and make it colored. So you could add a color, like have a red, you know, if you needed to, or a pink, which is nice if you know, especially if you're limited by space in your room. The glitter glazes and the chroma glazes are two of my favorite consumables. I like them the most, and I hoarded them for so long, and now I just need to use them because I can get more. Now I will say this is one thing that I have learned with all alcohol markers, that I stamped on the back of this because I moved it. The light colors, sometimes that color will come through in the background. So you can do other things like add some dimension, add some glitter glaze to it, some embossing powder, or some sort of design. I'm just going to leave it for tonight because I don't think it's super noticeable. Oh, it isn't anymore. I'm sorry, Shannon. I thought it was. Okay, I apologize for that. As you can see, I hadn't been in the subscription for a little while, but I'm sorry about that. That's okay. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Shannon. I will make sure I make a note of that. Well, like I said, I would definitely recommend then the Fallen Snow, and you could either do the alabaster or unicorn horn if you wanted, or if you like to do metallics, do a gold or a silver. If you're just going to do a few consumables, opal chroma glaze would be one of my favorites because it's got a lot of shimmer and shiny. You can put that over some things, and you can actually foil over chroma glazes. Okay, let's get moving on our color in here, so we're going to run out of time otherwise. All right, I'm going to quick color up. So this is the BV 2.6. When I started with just, you know, a few glitter glazes, a few chroma glazes, and now, you know, every once in a while, if I need to place when I place an order, if I need a little bit of extra, I go in and grab a couple and add those into my order. Or if I just want to place a small order, that's what I get. It's like with the Brutus Bucks program changes, I have a couple gift cards I need to use up now, or points to use up, so I'm kind of trying to decide. I keep adding things to my cart and then changing my mind and deciding what do I want to order. And there are a couple glazes that I'm getting low on that I should probably order. That I just, and to me, getting low on is, it's open. I don't want to run out. It doesn't take very long for me to get my shipments. You know, even though I live in Iowa, it takes usually just about 2 days. But every once in a while, the post office gets a little crazy and decides that it has to go to 2 other places in Iowa before it can come here. So, and I don't think I have the Emma's pink, but I do have the grape. I don't think I have the navy either. I think I might have to order that one. I have the hyacinth, but the navy sounds really pretty, and blue is that's my mom's favorite color. Okay, BV. Like I said, these, I don't have them all organized right now. I just have them all in here. So I don't have necessarily all the colors that I should in the right order. So I'm just grabbing a couple and coloring over them. Like this is a B marker. Yeah, I would like the navy. So I'm gonna write that down right now when I'm getting ready here. Navy glitter glaze. Sometimes I forget to look at the glitter glazes, and then I just go for it. So now, when I first started coloring this stamp set, I will be honest with you, I was thinking this was pants, and I think you could do it pants with a shoe, but I like them better as a full-on boot, so I am going to color them as a full boot. This one I colored a little heavy, so it started to leak a little bit. What marker did I use here? I think I used this one. I've got a BG and a B together because I'm trying to make some jeans. exactly. And the nice thing about glitter glaze is that it dries and it doesn't rub off. Um, you know, so that's kind of the nice part about that. All right, for the face, I'm going to quick do those. We're just quick get all the skin tones done here. Um, just going to do a quick kind of a peachy pink here. Color his hands. I only have 2 faces, so we might only make 2 gnomes here, even though I have 3 bodies. I just stamped out a bunch because sometimes it's kind of nice to just have a couple extra pieces. I got the noses here. I'm just going to do kind of a 1 color on them. You know, you can go as crazy as you want, but when I'm on a live, I don't want to color too crazily shaded. Like I said, 2 colors is plenty for some of these. Okay. All right. So now I've got those. I've got that. Got brown pants. Let's see. I'm just kind of, like I said, choosing different colors. We're going to do blue violet for this top. So we got his big belly here. So we got to put a little bit of shadow. A lot of times when I do shadows, I use the lines that are in the stamp set to tell me what to do. I find that's the fun part of all this. So I know this weekend is the Super Bowl. Is anyone doing anything fun? I'm excited. I love football. I'm sad in it, but I'm excited because I love football and I'm sad it's coming to an end. Even though arena football came out last year and it wasn't horrible. I only watched 1 or 2 games. But it's not the same as regular football. So I am a little sad it's ending. You know, and then of course the races start, which is okay, but I don't mind watching the races, but they're not quite as fun as football. You know, watching a guy drive around and around in a track is fun, but can be the same unless there's some craziness happening. But I will say a lot of times, especially if my colors are really far different, I will go twice with the colors. That just, even though it's saturated, try to go light with the pressure of it or pushing on your markers on the paper, but I do go twice because that kind of gives it a little bit more definition or blend better. Now I'm trying to not go super dark with these because I don't want to get too heavy on them. We need a brown belt. Oh, and I need to do his little belt loops. And the belt's small enough, I think I'm just going to do 1 color on it and then maybe do a quick dark brown buckle, which means we need brown shoes. I mean, you don't have to, but that's what I feel like you should. I do appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I don't, like I said, normally do a full coloring on camera, but because the markers are kind of new in the shop, I wanted to make sure people could ask me some questions of what I thought and I'll give my honest opinion. I mean, I really do like these a lot. I'm excited to order some more. I ordered all the sets they can. I will tell you, if you're going to go in the store and order the sets, the primary one, I believe, if you order that one, if you order all of them, you will get some duplicates because I believe the primary has the same colors that are in each of the other sets. And I only found that out because I was coloring them. No big deal. But I just wanted you guys to be heads up about that. We do need to do our sleeves on our coat here. Arms. Hi Tia, how are you? I'm just doing some coloring with some alcohol markers that are new to me. They're called Olo. They're kind of newer on the market. They've only been out for, I don't know, a few months. Thank you. This is the inspiration box this month. um, the Tea Party gnomes, and then there's an add-on gnome set. So we've got those. I'm thinking that we might just do a couple of boy gnomes here since I've already got, I got all the hats done, but quick color up. Oh, thank you. Miss you too. What color hair do we want to do? Let's do bright orange. And you know what, Shannon? Shannon the other night did a live, and she used this instead of a mustache. She used this as bangs, and I thought that was genius. I never thought about the emerald green is really pretty. The emerald green. This one? This was kind of a. Oh, the emerald green. Are you talking about the glitter glaze? It is a very pretty color. And it's perfect for this time of year because you're going into spring. You know, you can do it in the winter for Christmas. You can do it in the spring for St. Patty's Day or Easter. You know, summer can be grass. You know, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the glitter glazes, to be honest with you. But like I said, she asked which ones I could not, I can't live without, we can't get rid of the fallen snow. That one's the one for sure that I would miss a lot because like I said, I haven't been playing with it right now because I've been trying to use up some of my others, but it is one of my favorites. So I changed my mind. Instead of mustache friends, we're going to color this girl quick up. And thinking of green, let's go ahead and color her dress green. And then we'll do some quick die cutting and we'll get our card put together. We'll have to decide which one of our backgrounds we're going to use though. Hopefully they're dry. You know, don't be afraid to, when you're coloring, change things up. You know, you can color over some of the design lines. If you decide you don't want to color in, like this apron has 2 lines there, doesn't mean you have to make them both separate colors. You can make them the same color. So I am just kind of coloring over, and these colors are a little bit farther apart. This is, these might be 8.3 and 8.7. Yeah, there's an 8.3. So like I said, I colored these out. YG 8.3. So there is a 8.5. I don't have that one yet. So these two are farther apart, but I could go ahead and grab one of these other greens to just tie it in and it will work. You know, like I said, you don't have to have every color. A light, a dark, a medium is nice. Or just get 2 colors very similar to each other, one in each of the color of the rainbow, and you'll be good. So here, I'm going to grab the YG 2.5. That's a little bit darker green, just to kind of help transition between the darker color and that light color. You know, so be looking for more projects done when I color with the I'll be coloring with the Olos as I'm transitioning over from my Copics. I right now have only the grays in the Copics, but I eventually will be getting different colors that way. And then red, orange. We don't have a red yet. Let's make her. We don't have red because we're going to do a rainbowy color here, rainbow card here. Just have a bunch of colors. Now reds, I will tell you, in alcohol markers, and actually in a lot of other things too, reds can be very finicky. As in they can bleed. They just have you know, even when you're using inks, the red color just has a mind of its own. I don't know if it's because it's just so bold and likes to be that way, but try to don't oversaturate too much, my personal opinion, on using reds, because it can very, 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 you know, bleed. All right, thanks, Shannon. I am going to start die cutting these out here in just a few minutes, and we're going to put our card together. Hi, Darren. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've been having a good week. I'm going to finish up the Gnomies here. I was going to show you, hopefully I don't screw it up. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out what I was going to show you. I know I don't have them all colored, and that's fine. I will die cut them out and color the rest of them later. But what I was talking about earlier, how I like to finish off my Copic coloring. So these gnomes, I haven't been using the mouths so far because I like just the squished face. There are some mouths that come available. There aren't any eyes that come available with this because they're, you know, you can squish your face. So like I said, I have all of my stamps still in my MISTI, and should be down in this corner. Now this can be a terrifying moment for people, and the very first time I ever did it, it scared me. So I have this all still lined up, and I'm just going to go ahead and take my Raven Detail ink, which I said I inked this up earlier so it's super juicy this morning, so it was ready to go. I think I left the cap off of it because this is a fairly new ink pad, but I use it a lot, and I found one of my ink pads with the cover on it the other day, and I think I left it open, and it's been so dry with the heaters on. And then I just stamp over the top of it, and it just gives that little bit of something over the top and finishes that off. So don't be afraid to do it. My obvious advice for someone who is going to do it is definitely make sure you don't remove your images from your MISTI, and use the corner. And use the corner really, really well. So, because obviously you don't want to spend all that time coloring and then go ahead and stamp over the top and find out they shifted. So, that would be, not that I haven't had that happen before. So we're going to quick do that with these. So if you look at the images, here, I'll do a side by side quick. We might go a little over, I hope that's okay. So you can kind of see there's just a subtle difference of that extra black line that goes over the top. Oops, I'm off screen a little bit, I'll come down. So if you can look at the dress and it looks very crisp there, and then, you know, the black line is kind of faded. Oh, I forgot to color her bows on this one. Let's do that quick before we stamp those down. I don't remember what color we used exactly, so we're just going to go ahead and use this green. I'm going to go ahead and make it the dark green. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm off camera. I'm just quick coloring them in so we don't forget. And we got to get moving on our die cutting. All right. But it's just the subtle little difference, but it can make your images just pop. And that's like I said, my opinion. So quick ink them up. Make sure this is good and in the corner all the way. And then we're just gonna push this down. And hopefully you guys can see a difference when I get them up. It just gives it just a little bit of an over on top. All right, now we're gonna let's do dies, and then we'll put our card together quick. I'm a big fan of sometimes making a card, not necessarily putting a sentiment on it. I have some paper tape here. We're gonna cut these dies. If you haven't bought the Brutus Monroe dies before, they are my favorite dies on the market because they cut so well. I don't 99% of the time they cut perfectly. Every once in a while I do get one off, but that's usually my error, not the die's errors, but they line up really, really well. And I do store my dies on magnetic sheets, and what I like to do is I peel them off the die backer. Not always. I mean, sometimes if I'm out of them, I keep them on the paper with the sticky, but I do like them on the dies because I like to put them in the pouches, and I like to I'm always afraid I'm going to lose one. And then I take some Scotch tape, and tape over. Well, first I use my anti-static powder tool, and I kind of ink up over the tape that's already there, and and then I use Scotch tape to tape down over the sticky part. I don't remove the tape that's there, excuse me, that held them in place. And then I just stick that back in the die pocket. So in my pocket with my stamps, so that if I'm like, well, which die is this? I'm not sure. I can line it right back up. So those of you, so here we go. Is everybody ready for Valentine's Day? It's coming up just around the corner. I think my honey and I are talking about going out for Chinese, which is my favorite, our favorite. We haven't done that in a long time. I do need to make a birthday card this weekend for my mom because her birthday is coming up. It's fast, and I want to get it in the mail. I'm really bad about sometimes getting in the mail. For example, my dad's birthday, I said, is tonight, and I mailed this card yesterday. It is in the mail, though. I just kind of crept up on me, and I forgot to get it in the mail, so I popped it in yesterday, and I figured he'd be fine. He won't care. And I did get to talk to him this morning, so I saved my extra pieces of tape on the side of my die cut machine. I'm gonna have to cut that one out separately. Sorry guys, that's a little extra step. I wanted to try to cut them all out at once. Every once in a while I will cut out my images before I die cut them before I color them. I know other people that do that because they want to make sure they cut them out, and you know, the dies don't shift on them and they didn't spend all that time coloring, but not very often, because I don't like to deal with the small images, which, you know, you can stick them on your stick and stamp mat and then just color them that way and they'll hold it in place for you. But I like to just color, and because these dies cut out so well, cut them out after I'm colored. All right, get our last two on this one and we'll run this through quick. Is anyone else expected to have some bad weather coming up here in the next day or so? I think my little pup just, oh, I'm gonna have to cut that one out separate too. It looks like they're too close to each other. I try to put my images very close together so I can use the paper. I like to use the paper. As much of the paper as I can, and sometimes you have to run through more than once in the die. So alrighty. Alright, let's kind of pop that through my die cut machine. I will be right back. One of my dies shifted, so sorry about that. I'll be another minute here. And then just like that, look at how they just pop out of there so well. That's a little extra tape. So I'm just going to pop them on out. Try to carefully leave the dies in place. I'll take care of those later, except for the couple that are right next to the things I need to cut out. Pull those couple off and just throw them in a magnetic bowl here, and then we'll cut those out too. And then we'll start building our gnomes. All right, and I need the nose, right? Yep, the nose is the other one that needed to be cut out. It's too close to the other. And I'm just going to leave it together because I still have a couple little shoes on here. And I can line them up color those, line them up, and put them on my thermal machines. Cut that out quick. Not horrible. We've got, it's about 10 minutes, so we'll go over a little bit once I get these cut out, but I don't think we'll go over too bad. I hope that's okay with people. They just cut out awesomely. All right, so let's quick cut out. I only need a hat here. I'm gonna do the teal. I'm gonna do the teal hat with the, because because she's gonna have red, orangey hair. We want, no, I want the other hat, because I did two hats here. I can give him the red hat, the orange hat, and she can have the yellow hat. And put the face on quick. Oh, I have to cut that out separately. I apologize. They're just too close to each other. All right, get the dress. We've got the other two beards, so we'll leave this beard alone. I'll save him for another image. So, you know, when you're going to color, go ahead and stamp out your extra images, and if you can color them, and then when you're done, if you decide not to use them or you have enough, stick them back in the stamp package. That's where I store my extra colored ones. And then when I go, if I need to make a quick card, I can look and see if I have something already done, or if I decide I want to use the project, I can be like, oh my gosh, I already have part of these done. I don't have to color them all, or I don't know what I want to do today. I want to create something, but I just don't know what. Well, you can go and look through your stamps that you might have some images colored and stuck to, and and a background, and then you just have to make up a background or find a background. We need the hair here, and I think we're good to go. I'm going to quick cut out the face off camera too while I'm over there, so I will be right back. My die moved on me, so I gotta move it back. There we go. And we need our face. And then we are build our our gnomes. Alrighty. Thanks for sticking with me, guys, while I did some die cutting here. Coloring and die cutting. All right, we've got our pieces. I'm going to pop them out. One thing that you can do, I can suggest you can do, is you could use the dies to cut out multiple pieces. Cut out a second layer so you can build them on top of each other, and it will give us some dimension to your images. Ooh, that one's a little bit stickier. I don't want to ruin my stamp set. I will say sometimes remember to, like, I stamp these very close to each other, so that's going to cut out that little bit of that. When I cut that out, there's not going to be a white image there, but I can just put that off to the side of my card, and it will nobody will know. I can cut that part off. All right, let's get our girls here. Let's get our gnomes built. So I found for me the best way is to kind of lay things out. Sometimes do the face first or the body first and then put it together. We got these pieces here. We got a couple extra pieces here, so let's get those out of the way. Yeah, we got an extra beard. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab some Scotch tape. So what I have found is, I don't want to zoom in too much because I will forget to zoom out. Go ahead and grab your face and your body and kind of line it up how you want it so you know where to put your nose. The nose is, the nose I'm going to end up putting on. So I'm going to go ahead and it's going to go right there with glue. I'm just going to pick it up and put my glue back down. Come on, glue, react with me tonight. It was giving me problems the other night because I left the cover off too long. And okay, we're going to go ahead and use a different glue. I need to get my different glue out here. I have multiple glues. Hopefully one will work for us tonight. We don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. This is sometimes the craziness of a lot. There we go. All right, this one's working. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my stick. All right, so we got our nose, and then I'm gonna go ahead and layer these pieces on where I want them. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do with a hat first. It's kind of hard to do live, I apologize. Like that's the fun. So I'm gonna do the hat first. I'm gonna flip it over. And what I like to do is go ahead and grab a piece of Scotch tape or a piece of washi tape or whatever kind of tape you want to use, just a tape. We're going to just tape it in place from the back. No one's ever going to see it. So you use any color you want, and then you don't have to worry about it falling apart. And then we'll go ahead and put our dress on. And if you use a low tack tape, then usually you can fudge it if you put it in the wrong spot. And then you can go ahead and grab like the hair. Oops. And actually, we'd say this is a good reason. We need to move this up because I forgot. We took Shannon's little trip here, and we're going to make some bangs. I'm going to actually just put some glue on my mat here. And I'm going to just dip it in. And we're going to stick it up underneath. And I dropped it because I'm trying to hurry a little bit. So I might take the dress back off quick so I can tip this up. We're going to stick the hair underneath. And we might have to move the hat. Yep, I'll have to move the hat a little bit up. So then we have to move the hat a little bit up. So that's why you don't want to do anything super right away, because you want to do that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the little hair. I'm going to put a little bit at the top on both sides because we're going to stick it in right here. And it's up to you if you want it in front or if you want it behind. I think I'm going to switch it and move it behind. Like pigtails. So I just need some on top. And then, oh, look at how cute that is. We can go ahead and put some tape down. I think I had a piece over here to kind of hold those little pigtails in place while the glue dries and they won't flop everywhere. And then we can put our dress back on. And I do want to put a little bit of glue right there because I want it to be permanent. And look at, see how cute she's turning out? This would be a good place where we could add some of that fallen snow glitter glaze onto her, like her apron, and use like a paintbrush. Ooh, that's not in the right spot. And that would give her some sparkle and some shine. Did I color these the wrong color? I did. I made them red. They should have been green. That's okay. We'll make them work. So you attach them there, and we've got her little dress. So we got our little girl gnome. I am going to go ahead and tape them back on so that I know they're going to stay. And we've got one little gnome to go. One little gnome down. Now we got our male gnome. Now for me, the easiest thing to do for the male gnome was to kind of try to match, see where I want the hat and that to go. So they kind of push up against each other, and I'm going to squish that nose in there. So I am going to tape the beard on first. And then we will grab a little bit of glue for that nose. We're giving him the big schnoz. I haven't used that one yet. And I really think if you really wanted to, you could make it go the long way, but I'm going to stick it under. I'm going to do it like this. And give him a wide nose versus a long nose. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on his hat. And stick that down so he's nice and squished. And then we'll tape that all together. And then with that tape, like I said, it doesn't flop as much. And then it gives that glue a little time to dry as well. And then we've got his body. Oh, thank you. I am in love with this set. As soon as I saw that it was coming, I was super excited. I couldn't wait. I wanted to order it like right away. You know, when we started talking about them, when they were coming and going to be available. And I was just like, I can't wait. So I was super excited when they came. And I have used them. I'm not sure if I have any cards super close and handy. If I do, I will pull them out. A couple of the cards that I've created already. I'm going to put his under his beard, so we're going to grab them. But I've had some fun creating them. I just got the dies in literally yesterday. I was super excited. I ordered them. As soon as I knew they were available, I ordered them so that I could try to get them in time for today. And that's why I pushed off my live to use them with so I could use the dies. So people, because like I said, I love the dies. I don't necessarily like to fussy cut, but I will fussy cut. And I have scan and cut, but I need to calibrate it, and I'm too lazy to do that right now. So I've been coloring, and then if I forget to calibrate it, it's been cutting up wrong. So then I have to fussy cut them out anyway, which is fine. Oh my gosh, look at how cute he is. And we got to get him his boots. And then we will put them together. So this is actually the first card I've had with the white border, because I fussy cut out the ones that I've made before. And I think you could do it either way. Let's see what we like. Let's see what they look like. Yeah, I'm going to put it over the cuff. I want to put it over the cuff. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I want them under the cuff. Under? Anybody have any opinions on that? I'm going to do under. Are we all okay with that? I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I am going to do it over. I lied. I changed my mind. That's my prerogative, right? I changed my mind and just put it at the bottom. And we'll tape that down quick because and then we will put this together. And we need a sentiment. I don't know for sure what sentiment I'm going to use because I've used the Best Friend Gnome one a lot on almost all of the cards I've created so far. There we go. We got our gnomes, guys. Hopefully our backgrounds are dry. Let's go pull them out and we'll see. Oh yeah, they're pretty dry. I love the little boots too. They're pretty close to dry enough that I think I can use them. I may not cut that down to put it on a card base if that's okay till later, but I can, so that it's 100% dry. It doesn't get on my, see how it's a little bit big, but I can just cut it down. What I'll probably do is cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm thinking, Do we like the purple or do we like the silver heart? I think I'm going to go with the silver heart. And we're going to go ahead and glue these guys down. And I am going to use liquid glue. And I'll save the purple for another project. And then I will squish them in, and if there's a little bit of wet glitter, it will go into the back and help hold my gnomes in place. I'm going to go ahead and put my little girl down right here. I got to save a little bit of room, but I'm going to probably cut more off the top. And then we're going to put this guy right here. I'm moving them over just a hair so that you can see that maybe that's a heart. It's still a little wet, so it's a little bit up. I don't want to squish it down 100% here. We'll put this just a little for just a minute. And then we got our sentiments here. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab, I had another stamp set handy. Let's see here. I'm going to grab a stamp set. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, I grabbed a different stamp set. This one came, we used this one came out last August with the Create Your Own Ending event. It's called Forever and Ever. I did not check before I used it right now to see if it's still on the website. I'm going to grab it out of my folder, I hope. I have something weird going on in there. This is a stamp that has a die set and a coordinating stencil. Oh, I see. I put the stamp on inside out in a hurry one day. Okay, so we'll put that. And I'm going to grab this sentiment that says, "It was always you." I think that's perfect. Make a cute little love card. All right. And I'm going to grab out my Misty. And I don't want this one. I want this one. And take out some of my images here that I'm done with. I'm just going to throw them on my desk. And I will dry them off after, clean them off after. I'm going to throw my little this in here. And we're going to put our sentiment up at the top. We got to make sure it's going to fit. Okay, it's not, so we're going to put it on a sentiment strip. We'll do some quick heat embossing. We'll put it on here. All right. Thanks for bearing with me, guys, tonight as I change plans a little bit. So we got that in my embossing powder. I don't see it anywhere right now, so because I'm going to, oh no, I'm not going to do it in that. I'm going to do it in white. I'm going to do the Alabaster Pigment ink. That is my favorite way to do a white embossing powder. I should have done silver, but that's fine because we have the silver heart. But we'll do white, and I'm just going to tap it with my fingers so we don't get too much squished, because it's a nice little beautiful sentiment. And we will quick put that with some Alabaster embossing powder and dry it, and we'll be good to go. Obviously, I love the Alabaster, so I have multiple containers. We This is, oh, I don't know how many containers. And I've received some embossing powder, alabaster embossing powder also in a few of the events I've been at. So I have, that might be why I have some extras. Quick heat set this. Okay. We'll trim it down and they'll get it on our base. Thanks, Gina. No problem. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. I'm just finishing up. I did a bunch of coloring tonight using the Olo markers and the Gnome set. And I'm just putting a sentiment down. And so I'm going a little long because I was coloring tonight. We're just kind of getting finished up. Thank you. Yeah, here's our little Gnomies. I did the cable nut heart with some silver embossing powder, and I'm not 100% sure where. think I'm gonna just put it. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'm going to cut it down a little bit more and just stick it on there. I might move it, and I will put the post picture up tomorrow because I want to make sure I cut this base down a little bit, and I want to make sure that glitter glaze is completely dry before I put it in my trimmer, because I don't want glitter on my trimmer if it's still a little bit wet, in case I was a little heavy-handed in one spot. And I usually do those ahead of time, but I last minute decided, hi Shannon, I'm just finishing up. I think I am going to cover the little bit of, I'm just going to put it in right in here. Throw some glue on here. Where did I put my glue? Here it is. I am going to cut it down outside of the after tonight, and I will take a picture. Thanks, Donna. It's so much fun to play. I love playing with the Brutus Monroe products. It's, you know, like I said, I don't always come together with a idea of how I'm going to finish, but I know what I want to use. My glues are acting up tonight. We'll use my tape runner. I usually use liquid to go, but I love, like I said, you know, go through your stash and find something. I think I'm going to do it right. I know it's going to go over the tip of her hat. Yeah, let's move it down just a little bit. And it's always you. So there is the card base. I am going to cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So there's a little bit of a white border, and I will put that on a card base and take a picture of it and post it. I may put it on colored card base. I might actually put it on this red card base. I think I will. I do love the purple dots, but I decided to go with, because I had the purple already, I wanted the silver background heart. I'm going to use purple dots in another card. So, since I have some things to do. But then I will cut this down. I'm going to put that on the red card base. Thank you for joining me tonight. I got to put a little bit of more tape on there to get that to stick. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for letting me color with you. I hope you had some fun and learned a little bit of something about Olo markers. Don't forget to stop over in the shop and pick up your gnomes, your inspiration box. Chroma glazes, I think, chroma mists are still on sale. Sign up for the virtual event before the spaces are gone. And like always, have a great evening, and don't forget, ooh, I put a little too much. Don't forget to create something, like create your own ending. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for joining.